Welcome to The Spot. My name is Hugo, and on today's episode, we catch up with Paulo Coelho, digital marketer, serial entrepreneur, comedian, and watch fanatic. Paulo is the managing director of FoxGlove Digital, founder of the Watch Guy Namibia, and current marketing and communications manager at Namcor Namibia. He gives us some insight into his 20 years experience in the marketing industry, his love for the hustle and entrepreneurship, and his passion for luxury timepieces. We cap it all off with some practical advice for up-and-coming entrepreneurs and marketers just starting out. Enjoy.
Never.
So, Paulo, you've had probably about 20 years in the business now, right? You're getting old.
I'm very old, yeah. In the marketing, advertising space, branding, brand management, I would say close to 20.
Okay. And a lot of entrepreneurship in the middle of that as well. You've always been a go-getter since I've known you. Yeah. Always a man with a side hustle.
Always. Your salary will never make you rich. So you always have to have multiple streams of income, I believe. So yeah, always hustling, always finding the next thing to do.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit. How did everything start? You graduated high school, right? Mm-hmm. You went to go study, right? What did you go study? Just take me from there.
All right, so after high school, I left to Brazil. I was in Brazil for about a year, relearning Portuguese basically, and did a course in hotel management there. I was supposed to actually get a bursary from the Brazilian embassy, but I failed by like 2, 3, 4 points. My spelling and grammar in Portuguese is quite shocking. Came back here, worked at a Safari Hotel for a little bit, realized if I'm not going to own this hotel, then I'm not going to, why am I working here? My ambition was just too big. I want to own hotels, I don't want to work at them. Went to UCT, studied there. I did law for about a year before my dad fell ill. When he got ill, I came back. I helped him run the company, and I did a degree here. I did a degree in marketing and communications.
So that's where the marketing started?
Yeah, that's where it all started. I mean, it was a low-hanging fruit. My initial career path was either, I had very random, far-out fields. It was supposed to first be, I was supposed to be a pediatrician. I wanted to be a children's doctor. And then law, and then, marketing.
Pediatrician, how where'd that come from?
I don't know, I just always liked children. They're less fussy than adults.
That is true.
Yeah, it's just easy. It was just, I don't know, it seemed like the right thing to do. I like that.
Yeah. And then after doing the marketing degree, what kind of that kept you in this role? Because obviously there's something that, you said it might have been a low-hanging fruit at that point, but there is obviously something intrinsic that you really love about marketing.
Being creative, the creativity, the creative aspect, how to get brands out there, how to reach people that may not want to be reached or engage with your brands. That's the big thing for me. I started at an ad agency, got headhunted by a big company here, a multinational that I was working at for over 13 years. Yep. Yeah, 7 of the 9 brands fell under me. So it was just always exciting to be in that industry, learning what's new ways to market things. Creativity was always a big thing for me. Okay. Like Super Bowl ads, you just gotta love the creativity. Those are the best things. You want to do things that are impactful, things that people will remember you for.
Yeah.
I did a lot of that with Legal Shield, a lot of those witty, tongue-in-cheek ads. When Trump became president, when Jada cheated on Will, we always had a cheeky comeback for that.
Okay. And so would you say that you had, starting out, that you had this entire plan, you knew exactly how it's going to go, and everything just kind of fell into place? Which I'm guessing it's not, because most people, that is not actually the case. But from the outside, it seems like, Paulo Coelho always knew he was going to do this and end up in this position.
You got to make it look like act like you know what you're doing. Actually, honestly, while in university, me and a very close friend of mine, we were best friends at the time, we were inseparable, even childish things like we were married to each other on Facebook. We had a plan. We mapped out a plan. We sat and we said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to graduate. We're going to work a couple of years at certain businesses, and then we're going to start our own consulting firm. And that was the plan. But then he went off to go do other things with his life, and I just went to go and do my things. So. Yeah, it wasn't always mapped out, but you never know what's going to happen with the decisions you make. I always like to look at life sort of like a river. If you had gone left, what would have happened had you gone right? It's interesting to see how my life would have been had I made certain choices differently back then. So it's I'm happy where I am now. I think I'm in a good space, mentally, physically, emotionally. But you have ebb and flow. That's what life's all about. You just have to learn how to roll with those punches. and just not stay down too long.
Yeah. Like a business cycle, there's bull and bear markets, right?
Amen. True.
Okay. All right. And so focusing more on the entrepreneurship side, this side hustle side, which is really how I know you very well. You've always been someone who's nonstop doing something all the time. Can be a bit much at times, actually.
Yeah, it is. I know it can be.
I've spoken to your wife before, I know. But tell us about the importance of doing something on the side because I know most of the things that you were doing on the side were things that were more aligned maybe with what you were passionate about that you couldn't find in your corporate job at the time. So talk to us a little bit about how you got started, kind of how you got the momentum for it, and how you kept, FoxGlove is obviously one of the businesses that you still run today, a great ad agency, digital marketing agency.
Ad placement.
Yeah, it'll be below, in the description below. And then you have Watch Guy, right?
Watch Guy.
Which is also why this beautiful watch is sitting over here, right here. What watch is this?
That's an Audemars PK Royal Oak Diver.
All right.
It's a fairly limited edition with the aftermarket Horace strap.
Awesome. So the reason why I'm asking this is, so the digital marketing agency kind of makes sense, right? But I want to take it back to what I was mentioning a bit earlier. How did that all come about? The side hustle kind of mentality and kind of pursuing things that are more meaningful to you on the side. While you have to, the corporate job is great. You need to provide for your wife, for your family. But is that how you kind of kept like your soul alive at the same time? Or is that too much of an exaggeration?
No, it's not too much of an exaggeration. The side hustle thing for me came out of three things. You always want more money, you want to progress. And the big thing for me was just frustration. Because corporates are used to doing things a certain way. We're going to do radio, newspaper, billboards. So I initially started the agency to push digital at the time. Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing wasn't a big thing at the time, and we were just pushing innovation. We had an agreement with Zappar where we could do augmented and virtual reality executions. That would really work well for certain brands, but again, Namibia just tends to, we miss whole trends. We're just, we're a bit slow on the uptake, not like other European countries or American, America. So I started that agency to push innovation, content through sound, virtual reality, augmented reality.
All the things that you couldn't really do at your day job because of the red tape or, just the lack of forward.
Yeah, they just weren't ready at the time. They weren't there. You have to always take brands with you on the journey. It's a brand journey, and same with your clients. If you're a brand, you take people on your journey. It's always about pushing boundaries and doing new things. And I was just frustrated that you want to do a nice execution using a new technology, and then they're just like it's never gonna get off the ground. Shazam was a nice thing. We were the only company in Africa to do a Shazam campaign with the breweries for Oktoberfest before Apple bought it. Before Apple bought it. We were actually fighting with Apple. I had a 4 a.m. phone call with guys from Apple, and I saw Tim Cook logged in at the time before anyone knew who Tim Cook was. And they were like, guys, we've printed billboards, we've printed posters, we've got the magnets for the beer mugs, we've got everything's ready, you can't stop us now. And they were like, okay, this will be the last ever campaign on Shazam.
Oh wow.
It worked out very well. It was 2018. We got a lot of we had good results in that campaign. So the ads were running on radio stations. So every time you heard the ad, you open your phone, you get Shazam, then you get fed content. So all branded content, then you get to enter a competition. What was the best part for us as the competition is you give us your details. So I get your email address, name, number, and then I can target you later with different avenues, maybe email marketing or something else. So we push content, and what do you get in return? You get exclusive content, you get prizes, you get promo merch. So it's a nice exchange.
Wins. Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So, but just coming back to the starting this agency, what were like the initial struggles? Like, was there that period where it was now, you said you were feeling frustrated, right? And you started thinking about, hey, maybe I can do something on the side, my own thing, right? Was that a long period of time, a bit going back and forth within your own head, a bit of doubt? I mean, self-doubt, we all have it, right? Was that a big part? How difficult was that for you to overcome, and what were those actual struggles? It
wasn't difficult at all. I made the decision and I did it. I've never been one of those that like to second guess. Quincy Jones always used to say, and I think Will Smith quoted in his book, you can't have paralysis through analysis. If you're going to sit and analyze things too long, you're just not going to get going. So I like believing in Mel Robbins' technique as well, just count down. wake up early in the morning and you don't want to get out of bed, you just count 5, 4, and you just get up.
You just do it.
You just do it.
Yeah, you don't think.
Yeah, you first do it, and then you deal with whatever needs to be dealt with afterwards. So starting the business, then all of a sudden, you have tax implications. Okay, I'll handle that now. Oh no, you have to do a CC or a registration for the business. So just do it, and then the rest should just fall into place. It's nothing that can't be managed.
Yeah. So could I sum that up in that someone shouldn't get too lost in overanalyzing everything, and rather just learn day by day, just do, don't overthink it, and just kind of trust your gut that you will be able to figure out what's going on.
Get 1% better each day. It compounds.
Yeah.
Don't strive to be the best, because best means there's an end point. Just strive to be better, because you can always be better. Well, one of my favorites, my grandmother used to say this, it's nice in Portuguese as well: good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes your better, and your better becomes your best. But we just strive to be better every day.
That was smooth. Is that where you get the gift of the gab from your grandmother?
No, actually, I think from my dad and my grandfather. My dad is very, very sociable. He's got all these dad jokes. Actually, I'm not sure. I just always was comfortable with being put on stage, having a TV show, doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't mention.
Stand-up comedy, and a TV show. I might. We're talking with NBC again. They said they would like to have me back on to do some other shows for them. So we'll see what happens.
That'll be awesome. You should keep us updated on that.
We'll see.
Is it a telenovela?
No, it's gonna be a talk show. Calm down, or probably a music show.
So talk to me more about FoxGlove Digital.
We went through 3 rebrands actually. We started as IMDM Namibia, which stood for Interactive Mobile Digital Media, because we were also pushing mobile a lot, USSD, certain things. We felt that mobile was also very underutilized at the time. And then we changed.
In Africa especially, or just in
Namibia mostly. I mean, in South Africa they do it quite well with the Please Call Me's and the USSD codes that they can run various campaigns. And then I parted ways with some partners of mine at the time, and then now we became Sky Digital. And I just wasn't, because of the drone stuff. So the Sky Digital was still doing the digital, but we're also pushing tech and innovation with the drone stuff. I currently sit on the board of the Africa Institute for Entrepreneurship, and it's a nice research and think tank where we're pushing a lot of technology and information forward, and just trying to look at like new things. They're based in South Africa and trying to push and expand into Namibia. So that's where Sky Digital came from. And then I just decided, let's focus primarily on what we're good at: the social media management, app creation, websites, and the online advertising, SEO, digital ads, Google display, programmatic stuff. So you're getting return on your investment. So we were discussing names. We're thinking of things. I thought of a name called Digitalis, but it's also a flower. And then we went down that hole, and then we found a Portuguese plant called the foxglove. And it's that's just the name just stuck. And we designed the logo around that. We built the brand, and then here we are. That was, I think, also 2019. So it's been up and down. Starting your own business is difficult. And as you grow it, you want it to grow. You're fighting for new clients. Clients need to pay. You want to expand. You're hiring people. It's all a learning process. Because it's not just as easy as the things you learn in the classroom. Start a business, hire 5 people, decide. You deal with like social security, taxes, this person's mood, stimulating creativity constantly. People can't just come in and say, hey, I need a great brand idea for a campaign, and they must just you got to brainstorm, you got to goad, prod. It's interesting, but I'm enjoying what I do. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing.
What's the future plans for FoxGlove as it stands right now?
At the moment, we're not sure. We're trying to grow it. We've onboarded another person. We're getting 2 new clients this year. So we're trying to grow it. We're not going for. We're trying to help the SMEs and there's a micro as well. Companies that are in our category. We're not aiming for like really big marketing accounts. We're trying to help those that want an ad agency, need help, but can't afford your bigger agencies, your Advantage, your Ad Forces, Ogilvy's, all that. So that's what we are. And we primarily do digital. We're trying to focus on digital. It's all good and well. You spend 24,000 on a full page ad in the Namibian. It's great, but can you prove return? If there's no call to action, there's no SMS line or something. At least on a Google ad campaign, I can tell you how many people clicked, how many people actually asked for directions, how many people called, how many people went to your website.
That information to improve your future campaigns.
Keep pushing it forward. You do proper reporting, and then you recommend based on the stats you have. You have stats that you're working from. So that's a big thing for me. Right now, we're just trying to grow it.
Okay.
It's all we're gonna keep doing. I mean, eventually I want to make it a full-fledged agency and then start, trying to tender, but I like what we do.
Yeah. How much of your time would you say, because you have a full 8 to 5
At the moment,
at head of marketing at Namcor, right?
Manager communications, marketing, and PR, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how much of your time would you say you allocate to your business, like FoxGlove?
FoxGlove gets about 20% in a day.
Okay.
Namcor gets the bulk of it
Of
because
course.
it's a bit more hands-on. FoxGlove is self-sustaining. I have a good team, I have a good management team. It's just, it's minor things, dealing with emails and clients occasionally, but yeah, I give it about 20%. But the plan is to make that then the 80% and then look for another side hustle.
Awesome. Okay. Speaking about another side hustle.
Yes.
The Watch Guy Namibia.
The Watch Guy Namibia.
Talk
The
to
horologist, because people don't know it's horology. It's the study of watches and love. I've always, I've always just had a passion, a thing for watches. That's basically the only jewelry men can wear. It lasts you a lifetime. They're well made. They're tools. They're precision tools. So growing up, my mom had a guest house and all these Angolans and people always come visit. And they always had like nice watches, Breitlings and Rolexes and Omegas. And I just always grew up.
How old were you at the time?
Oh goodness, I don't know. Can't remember. But I've always just had a thing for watches. You always judge a man. You see, psychologically, a woman will always look a man foot to head first. So always make sure you have good shoes, or at least your feet are clean. Can I swear on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A man will always look at a woman face down.
Okay.
Face is beauty. Then you see if it's symmetrical, if it's the shapes and curves you like. It's a thing.
Okay.
So you always
Never thought of it,
you can't always measure. A guy could walk in looking like a homcha, but he could be quite rich. Always just judge by the wrist. The wrist tells a lot. And the way the luxury market is built, it's that aspirational aspect of you want to eventually build up to this. A lot of people see watches as a trophy. I got this watch when I got my first job. I got this watch when I did this, when my child was born.
Yeah, it's like a reward for themselves once they've reached a certain point in life.
And I'm not excluding women too. Women can do the same with watches, but women have other things. They have Pandoras. They have all sorts of high-end stuff. Watches for me is just always, and it's a passion. We can talk about watches for quite a long time. Retail, grey market, what I do. I mean, at the moment, I have.
Talk to me about what you actually do at Watch Guy besides being super passionate about these watches.
We sell watches.
Yeah.
We buy and sell watches, high-end watches. So I've got contracts now with Richard Mill, Audemars Piguet and Rolex, so I can get you brand new watches in the retail space at retail pricing. And then we do second-hand watches. We have a lot of those in the market. The majority of my watches sadly sell in SA and currently in the UAE and Angola. Angola is a small fraction of that business. It's about 2-3% of turnover. But we want
But you do operate here.
Yeah, we do. I mean, I have the benefit of having a good network there. I can speak the language, and I can sell in any language. If I knew how to speak other languages, I'd sell it there too.
Yeah.
Dubai is also a big thing because they're starving for watches. So we buy watches, secondhand from people that might not want them, people that inherit, or whoever is short on cash. And we just basically always sourcing watches. I have a client that keeps telling me he wants a Batman, so as soon as I find a Batman, I'll allocate it to him.
Batman is what?
A Batman is the Rolex BLNRO. It's a GMT Master 2, and basically what it does, it's a watch that has 3 different time zones, and it has a 2-tone color bezel. The Batman is blue and black.
Okay.
And then the Pepsi is the blue and red.
Yeah, that's one of your favorites, isn't it? Another Pepsi.
The Batman, not the Pepsi, but the Batman with the Jubilee stripe, and then people call it the Batgirl. All of these have different names. You get the Hulk, which is like the green on green.
Yeah.
Kermit or Starbucks.
So if I could break it down, you guys have these contracts also with the big watchmakers where you do retail and sell at retail prices, but then
the retail side of things is you still have a waiting period. That's always your challenge.
Of course.
So it's just
and then you have the second-hand market, which you guys buy, sell, and basically trade in these luxury timepieces.
Pretty much, because you see, we're trying to open shop. We recently bought a property. Not we, it's me. I got a property. So hopefully, it just has to be fitted out of security. You need, category 5 safes. You need. It's a whole thing. I'm again start the business, register the CC, buy the property, and now I'm sitting there like, okay, guys, send me 2-3 million rand worth of stock. They're like, okay, but do you have a Cat 5 safe? What the fuck is a Category 5 safe? Then they're like, okay, no, this is the safe you need, for insurance purposes. Then I'm like, cool. They're like, oh, your property, your shop is on a second floor, so now you need engineers on how to put the safe in and how to make it fire. I'm like, oh God. But it's fine. It's you wake up and you're like, okay, I can deal with this today.
Of course.
You just got to do it. There's the difference between retail and grey market. Grey sounds wrong, but that's what it's called. It's the second-hand market. It's just timing. It's the scarcity. For example, Rolex only make 900,000 watches a year. Patek make up to, I think, 60,000. Audemars make slightly less than that.
Wow.
Elang and Zona are like 6,000 in a year. But again, they're not a very big brand.
Yeah.
It's not flashy.
Yeah.
And it's Patek Philippe, not Patek.
Patek.
Drake needs to it's Patek Philippe. So you can get watches cheaper on the retail market. So a Batman or a Pepsi, a GMT Master 2, maybe you can even just throw up the image when you edit.
Yeah, we'll throw it up.
You can buy brand new for 170,000. But you got to wait 3 to 5 years. And that list is long because Rolex only makes so much.
Yeah.
And then they send it to whoever. There's no like, oh, Hugo ordered 5, let me send it 5. They're like, we'll send you what we have.
Yeah, and it's that kind of like, it's basically built into their business model.
That's
it's the
their business model,
scarcity
exactly.
of these watches.
I'll touch on that. It's not so much a scarcity. But then the worst thing is the watches arrive and then it's the dealer's discretion of how to allocate. So the dealer, our dealer here, we only have one. I'm trying to work on becoming the second one. Surprisingly, they're the dealer, and I've serviced more Rolexes than them last year because they don't want to deal with logistics.
Humble brag.
So the dealer that gets the watches and he gets to allocate. So a watch arrives for Hugo. He's like, hey, this is Hugo's watch. I don't like Hugo.
Thanks,
and the other guy keeps, bringing me money every month. Okay, let me call Paulo first. Paulo, your watch is here. Oh, okay, I'll take it. Or no, I won't take it. Oh, Hugo, your watch arrived. Imagine that.
So that's really like the kind of market dynamics here in vintage.
Well, everywhere in the world, it's the dealer discretion. So, anyways, to touch on what you were saying, they refuse to up the production. They will not make more because then it compromises their quality, and they've always been about quality. Same with Audemars Piguet, same with Patek. I can make you more watches, but then they're going to be of a shittier quality and a shittier build, and they're not going to last as long. So we only build these watches, and we build them to spec. Rolex has the benefit of not being owned by a group.
Yeah.
They're a private foundation, so they don't have to give audit results. They don't have to do annual reports. It's a charitable organization started by Hans Wilsdorf. So what they do is they've just slowly been growing. They have their own in-house blacksmith. They have a person that does the gold. They have a refinery. They have their own steel that they make. It's a 904L steel, which is harder than normal stainless steel. So, quality is a big thing for them.
Yeah.
That's why we're same with Patek. Their advertising campaigns are always the same. You always have 3 generations in a photo. The mother, the daughter, the granddaughter, father, son, grandfather. Because the tagline is, you don't own a Patek. You're merely holding it for the next generation. That's it.
And this guy specifically, talk to me about this guy.
This is a limited edition divers. You can dive with this watch. That's why it's got such a thick case, so you can take it quite deep. It's got a nice,
as I was putting it on now,
it gets quite heavy. It's quite heavy because they plan for you to wear it with a wetsuit, and it's got a nice little timer so that when you go underwater, you can time how much air you have left. And they make these cases so thick so that they can withstand a lot of pressure.
How deep could you dive with a watch like that? Do you know?
This one, I'm not too sure. This one says 1,000 feet. I know that the current record was held by the Rolex Deep Sea James Cameron edition because he took it to the bottom of Marianas Trench. And that was 3,000 feet, I believe. Yeah, wow. That's quite crazy. A thick watch as well. It's nice and heavy. Yeah. Could have brought one. Sorry, I didn't know you wanted to see it.
No worries. So
I have one for sale on the Watch Guy Nam.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I hear among the grapevines that you guys are coming out with your website pretty soon.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much, Hugo. We're going to start the website. Just finalizing stock and getting me up to speed and actually sitting down and doing it. And then once we launch, we're gonna take it live and see if that can just help us with sales. Because as it is now, it's mostly just word of mouth, a small client base.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. And I usually
Watch
also
Guy
just
Nam.
At the Watch Guy Nam.
Yeah.
And I usually just send out broadcast lists to certain people that I know might be interested.
Okay. And so the website's coming out. That's also going to be a cool part. It's going to kind of be the house for everything where you can get off Watch Guy.
Or whatever's available at the time.
Of course.
We're not listing the retail watches there because those, it's custom orders. You tell me the model you want, I get you the price, and then you take it from there.
Yes. And so you guys also do accessories, am I right? So this, like, I wanted to know with this Audemars, right? Is this the stock band?
No, this is a Horus strap. So we do Horus, we do Tempomat from Spain, we do rubber straps, leather rolls, watch stands, all sorts of cool little things that you do for watches, even watch winders.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cases.
The cases, the watch rolls as well. I sold someone a watch recently, and he'll call me every other day to ask how to quickly do something, and then he got so annoyed because he doesn't wear it every day that he has to set it every time. So he said, just get me one of those boxes that do this, and I'm like, okay, I'll get you a watch winder.
Yeah. Okay. And so the Watch Guy Nam is pretty early stages, you would say. Right?
Doing it for 3-4 years, but I never took it serious. I never started a business out of it. I was just like, hey, I like watches. You have this watch. I can get you this watch, or sell me that watch. And now it's picking up. So we're hoping to turn it into a fully fledged business.
Yeah. When you think about the future of the Watch Guy, what comes to mind, or have you not even thought that far yet? You're just kind of trying to hammer down on the things you're doing at the moment.
I have been thinking quite far, because that would actually be one of the main goals, is to actually have a nice fully fledged shop. You come in, you sit down, you can have some whiskey, have coffee, we have a discussion over watches. We try on some watches, see what you like, what fits, and then you buy. That's the ultimate goal. I mean, I want to do something like that as a daily. That would be quite fun, because I enjoy the whole watch aspect. How watches are made, we can service them, fix them. You go to international watch shows. There's one happening now in London. I was invited to by someone everyone actually might know, Nico Lombard. I'm actually chatting to his sales manager, Tim. Shout out Tim Barnes. So that's quite fun. I just unfortunately can't go right now to London. And then,
I can go for you if you want.
Oh, sure. And then there's the Geneva Watch Show, Watches in Wonder, where watches will showcase what they're doing what they're bringing out. My predictions are that Patek already discontinued the 5711. I think they might discontinue another very popular watch of theirs, another model, the 5980. And then I think Rolex might also just bring out a few new models. I suspect maybe a Coke, which will be a black and red bezel, and they might do something new with the Air King and the Milgauss.
Yeah. Another thing to watch out for, which we will do, is we're going to have John Morgan speak to you about watches, luxury timepieces, as a form of alternative investment, which I think will be a very cool thing to watch. Keep an eye out for that.
People always say, how do you justify a price for a watch? Like, for example, this watch, currently as it is now in its form, I have box and papers, its current market value is about 360,000-70,000.
This guy right here?
This guy right here.
What?
It didn't cost that at production, because retail pricing, remember.
And I can take this home, right? That's crazy. Bro.
So the argument for me would be then you buy a brand new BMW 3 Series. It's already 770k. You drive it off the lot. What are you selling that watch for? That car for?
You're already dipping 20%.
20%.
Yeah.
Keep it for another few years, whatever. Buy the right model watch from the Watch Guy Nam. First of all, I tell my clients, buy something you like that you may wear occasionally or wear every day. You can wear it daily. Within a year, 2-3 years, I could potentially triple your money. Because the watch is increasing value.
Yeah, I read something. I'm not sure. You can tell me if it's accurate or not. But that Rolex is specifically last year were one of the best performing assets. In the world.
Rolex, Patek, APs, Veteran, and A-Long and so on. The higher end brands, and also it depends on model. No one like most men won't buy a 36 millimeter. They see it as a woman's watch. So I mean that's a good place to start as an investment, because you can pick up those for under retail, so like 90,000, 80,000, maybe 100. But then your 40 date just, or your 40 day date, maybe two-tone gold, you will get for slightly more than what you get at retail. So if you can find it at a good price, purchase it, keep it for a few years, and then bring it to me and we sell it for you.
Yeah. Okay. So speak to me more, because I'm not a big watch guy. When you're talking about all these production numbers and the type of steel that they're using, or like it's a lot to take in. So break it down for me. What would you say are the 3 or 4 major factors that determine a watch's price, and also the potential to increase in value? Like there has to be some kind of factors that are usually Popularity.
Usually it's the sport models, the sporty models, like the divers, you know, the Submariners, the Daytonas, the 5711 from Patek. That was it's the Nautilus 5711, and then you get the Aquanaut, and then the fact that only certain people have access to it, like the celebrities. When Patek was discontinuing the 5711, they released 170 limited editions of the Tiffany blue. So it's got this kind of blue on the dial, on the inside of the dial, and it says Tiffany & Co. One watch, because they know it'll shoot up in value, because you're not going to get any more. They're not making any more. So it's done. If you find one of those watches, you
have to get it. Yeah, you have to get it on resale.
Well, you're gonna make good money off of it. One sold on auction for 5.6 million US, and there's only 4 people.
That's ridiculous.
3 or 4 people confirmed to own these watches already. It's Leo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, and LeBron. Jay-Z was first, then LeBron. Okay. And we don't know who the 5.6 million guy was.
So do you think that plays, just from a, looking at it from a business perspective, do you think those kind of, it's still created out of the scarcity point? That's what I wanted to get to.
Scarcity and popularity.
Yeah.
But scarcity majority, because now it's discontinued. But they couldn't understand that why everyone was so infatuated and fascinated with the Nautilus 5711. They keep trying to remind people we have other watches too. They have the Aquanaut, they have the 5780, the 5790, different complications. So people just wanted the Nautilus, and Patek did the smart thing. We're like, hey, we're not making any more of these. Buy some of our other watches.
It's such an interesting industry, and I think I remember like a lot of the references to luxury watches, funny enough, come through in hip hop music, right?
Mostly, yeah. Everyone wears the AP in their videos,
right? Or
Migos Rainbow Daytona,
Patek. So yeah. So is it fair to say that even like the rappers like Migos could have made like Pateks and certain watches more popular?
They've driven up the popularity, and now more people are knowing about it. But not a lot of people still can get it. I mean, you need to be really rich, or just in a good position. Because I can safely say that I have a Patek.
Okay. So
and it's not a replica.
Okay. So of course not. Replica watches as a concept is very strange to me. I understand it. Not having the money.
It's counterfeit.
No, I understand that. Yeah. No, but I'm talking
people
more
don't
like
have
the psychology.
Money. Yeah, but they want it, so they'll get the replica now in hopes of aspirational thing.
Yes, but I always just think, these are status symbols, right? And so people work really hard, and this is like their reward. I've made it to this point in my life, and this is when I wanted to get a Rolex, a Rollie, whatever, right? What doesn't make sense to me on the replica side is that you have to know, like, first of all, you're not there, otherwise you could have bought the real watch, right? Yeah, so you have to know I'm buying the replica, but I'm still status signaling, but I know deep inside, like, this is not real.
You're trying to show people you're somewhere where you're not.
Yeah.
And that is actually also quite sad. That's why at the Watch Guy Nam we do 100% authenticity checks. We don't sell replicas, it's bad for business. We also try and check our watches against the insurance database of Namibia and South Africa and most countries, but it's mostly here where we get the watches. And I declare them to the police saying, I have this watch in my possession with a serial number, just to make sure that it's not. So I try to do my due diligence, because at the end of the day, I don't want to get a reputation of selling stolen watches. Of course. It's really bad for business. So one thing I always tell also a lot of owners is always notify the brand as well. So people always come when the watch is stolen.
Oh, when it's stolen.
Because you tell your insurance company, you make a police case, the insurance pays you out, and then the watch is probably floating around. It eventually makes its way back into the circle, and then all of a sudden it goes to Rolex for service. Rolex services and gives it back, because in their mind this serial number belongs to this guy, and someone brought it in for service. Maybe a shop brought it in, so the shop won't tell them. They'll say, "Oh, it came from this jeweler." They won't say it came from Hugo.
Of course.
The watch is registered to Paulo. So notify the brand as well, and the brand will be like, "Hang on, this serial number is marked as stolen. So I'm going to first keep it and then see, the owner must come and, claim it back." Same with Patek, Rolex, all of them, all your watches, always just notify the brand. I can call the brand, and like for example, Breitling, it depends on who I get on the day. I'll call them and they'll be like, "Oh, this serial number is this person." Or, no, I'm not giving you that information.
Of course.
Rolex is flat out, give us a serial number, and then they won't say a name, they say yes, no, it's stolen or not, or we're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Bring the watch in. And then I already have the watch, I run the risk of sending it in, they're like, it's stolen, they confiscate, and I'm out money.
Yeah.
So it's
so there's quite a lot of like intricacies and risk involved in the kind of buying and selling in the second-hand market.
Yeah. So we offer two options. So I can buy it now, and you'll get what I can give you for it, or what the fair. It's a fair price. We'll give you retail pricing minus 10-20%. It'll always be above retail depending on the watch and the model. But I can also list it on consignment. So you keep your watch. I will try and sell it at the agreed upon price. You get yours, I get mine, and that's how we can sell.
Okay. So we've spoken a bit about the higher end watches, right? But as a horologist, right, Paulo, I see you wearing an Omega, right? And
Seamaster Professional 300, the Bond watch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't actually notice that.
It's just that Bond wore the one with the bracelet in the movie. I got the one with the rubber strap.
And another big Omega fan that I know is well, not personally, but that I've heard of, is Joe Rogan.
Yeah, right? He has lovely Omegas, and he has a few Rolexes and a Panerai.
Yeah, but the Omega is like, I would think, like, how much does a watch like that go for in comparison to this? This you said was about 300.
Now as it is 300, but I think when you buy it brand new from retail, you get it like 200, 220. This one, as it stands now, the challenge with Omegas, again, they try really hard to be like Rolex and the other brands. I like Omega. I'm an Omega fan. I mean, it's got an exhibition case back. This one does not.
I like the exhibition case back.
It's really nice. You can see what's happening on the inside. This one has got a zirconium dial, and it's laser engraved. So they make effort, but yet somehow they just don't hold value. Brand new, you get this watch for about 125, 130, depending where you go. But now, as it stands in the second-hand market, you can pick one up for 90, 80,000. Okay. Box and papers available on the Watch Guy Namibia. Not this one. I'm keeping that one. That's one I keep for my personal collection. I don't know if you saw one of my posts the other day. I've kept a lot of my watches, like my very first Tissot that I bought. I bought a Vizio date. I have a PRC 200 Tissot. As you move on in life, you get other watches. And watches also nice commodities. So when you're traveling or when something happens, you're short on cash, take it off the wrist, boom, you got cash.
Wow, I actually never thought of it.
If you're in another country.
I never thought about that.
It's true. If you're stranded, you're stuck. That's why it's an
You got something of value. Yeah. Part of what we want to do here is, give people the opportunity to learn, right? Well, I think it's important for everyone to, like I said, from the outside, it always seems like everyone has it figured out. And it's always awesome to hear kind of, the humanity in someone and how they got there, right? So, especially from an entrepreneurial aspect, what is one tip? You think that it can be very simple, but the one very important tip you would give a budding entrepreneur starting out, no experience, what would you say?
Winston Churchill, never give up, never surrender. Inspiration. Just keep going. Eventually it'll work out.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a matter of time, but then you also need conviction, you need belief. I knew for a fact I was never going to be a failure, so you just have to...
you got to believe it.
You embody it. Yeah. By my greetings, everyone always finds it funny when they say, how are you doing? And I'm like, I am blessed and unstoppable. It's the words that follow I am are so powerful, and you embody that. I mean, your self-talk is so important because your brain is a computer, so what you tell it to do, it's garbage in, garbage out. So you gotta say what you believe. You say it with conviction.
Affirmations,
and gratitude. Like we like as it stands now, I have more than most people, but I have less than some, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. You gotta be grateful for the things you have. I mean,
there's no. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no ceiling when it comes to wealth. So it's a never-ending game. So you gotta start being happy with your chips on the table at some point.
Well, play the cards you're dealt and try and get to where you want to get to. So don't give up. And then my other tip would be pivot. Always think WTOH. I love saying that. WTOH. What's the opportunity here? Something didn't go your way? Great. Fine. Fuck it. Pivot. But what's the opportunity here? This didn't happen? But it opened up that door. That's why we actually went to the name FoxGlove, because the fox is nimble, it's agile, it's quick, so we're able to pivot and follow the times. That was the whole point.
So would you say it's also important not to, when starting a business, someone's usually very passionate about what they're doing, right? it's important to, if something's not working, be able to kind of let go, pivot into a new direction, even if that wasn't the
as hard
initial.
as it is. You sometimes need to just cut your losses.
Okay.
You don't want to admit defeat or failure, but sometimes it's okay to just be like, listen, this has got to quickly just.
Yeah. Okay.
You basically cut off the arm to save the body.
Okay. I like that analogy. So, coming to the digital marketing side, tips for budding digital marketers, specifically in Namibia, whether they're working, doing their own thing, starting up their own thing, whether they're working at a corporate or ad agency.
That's the beauty
What's the one thing?
Well, there's multiple things. That's the beauty of digital marketing. It's ongoing. It's not like you have to send your advert to the newspaper and you can go sleep. It's constantly learning, tweaking, growing. So it's always just learning new things, staying on top of trends, what's happening internationally, and how best you can get your message across. That's what I would always do. Just constantly reading and learning new things.
Okay, I like that.
That's the truth.
Final question. If I want to buy a luxury timepiece as an investment piece, entry level, let's say, I'm talking real entry here because you guys like these big numbers.
What's your budget? Let's start there.
Well, there's a little theoretical, right?
Okay, fine.
Let's say I have 50 grand Namibian dollars.
Yeah.
What would you?
For 50 grand, I would advise you either look at a Breitling or a Tag Heuer, certain models.
Okay.
Breitling Navitimer is a classic dress watch and wear it for most things. I mean, comes with a leather band and the metallic stainless steel bracelet, so you can wear it, when you're out and about or when you're going to a corporate environment. So that or a nice Tag. I'm not talking about your $9,000 Formula Ones. I'm talking about a nice Carrera caliber 16 movement, but that has a nice exhibition case back and is not quartz. It's mechanical.
Okay. Yeah, I like the mechanical one.
Difference between quartz is basically just has a battery, and it's the movement that the Japanese made way back when that it's very accurate, and then as opposed to a mechanical that works off the movement of your wrist with a counterbalance weight that powers the spring wheel that then it powers the whole movement.
Cool. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, parting words. I want to just say you must always keep reading and keep learning. I try to read as much as possible, learn new things, and always just how to apply things. And I recently finished the Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. I actually really like that book. I recommend.
He's a big stoic, right?
Yeah, he is a big stoic.
Yeah.
He tattooed on his forearms, the obstacle is the way. So something's in front of you, but maybe that's the way you're supposed to go. And then on the other arm, ego is the enemy. And he argues that ego is the cause of man's downfall. Because you allow ego into things, and then it's a lot of the things men feel, or people, not men per se, just everybody, is self-inflicted. But one of the key messages I liked from his book was, in life you need three things. And he got this from Ken Shamrock, who was in the UFC.
Shout out Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, and he used it for fighting, but now it's an analogy that you can apply to life and most things. You need three things. You need a plus, a minus, and an equal. So a plus is someone who's better than you, someone you look up to, someone who can mentor you, someone you can learn from. He's always a plus. He's always adding to your life. It's an addition. Then a minus is someone lesser. Not necessarily that you're better than this person, but someone that's not
earlier on the journey.
Someone that you can bring up. I like that, early on the journey. Someone that you can bring up. Someone that you're teaching to. So you're adding to his life. You're his plus. This person's your minus, and that essentially also helps you grow. And then someone who's equal. Someone who's on your level that you can bounce ideas back and forth. Someone that will challenge you. Like, I don't agree with your opinion. I'm going to do this and that. Because now I feel like we've all become. I find this especially with my soccer club. We've become pussies. I can't say shit to you because you're gonna catch feelings when it's not like Mark Manson in everything. Not everything's fucked. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. 90% of the time, it's not about you personally. So listen to what I'm saying. Tony Robbins says all the time, see it for what it is, not worse than it is. I'm telling you, pass the ball right or do something. Why must you catch feelings? No, he's picking on me or this or that. Listen to what I'm saying and let's make it right.
Yeah.
Plus, minus, negative, equals.
I really like that. I would want to add on the, how people, I agree that people are a bit more pussyish than
We're softer.
But on the critique part, there's also something cool that I read. I'm not really sure who said this, but it's when you criticize someone, you should criticize broadly, right? And when you give praise, you give specific praise. So
I like that, actually.
Criticizing broadly is like, let's say I didn't like the way you did something today, and I would be like, Paulo, I really didn't like the way you spoke to me today. I should rather say, I didn't like this approach that you took, because then it's not making it personal towards you, it's the approach
It's
that
not
you
specific.
can change.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, but when you're giving praise, it should be specific.
You did this very
Yes,
well.
yes.
I mean, it doesn't help yelling at somebody if they fucked up. I'm sure they know that if feedback tells you I fucked up.
Yeah.
You missed the goal. I can see that. I know I missed the goal. I need you
Did
yelling
something
at me.
happen in your match recently?
No, just it's all hypothetical. It's examples.
Yeah, yeah.
Same with work.
Yeah.
You know, criticize broadly and praise specifically. I like that.
Yeah.
I believe, and Robin Sharma said this one as well. You can say anything to anyone as long as you say it with love and respect. You know, you just have to be respectful. Saying it's not about trying to get this person to react to them to catch feelings. It's just like, this wasn't
Show them
working
where
for
you're
me.
coming from. Yeah.
Let's try and fix it. And this is how I would like you to, you know, like what you said, unlike the way you spoke to me. This is how I want to be spoken to. But again, you can't speak to certain people certain ways because they're going to fucking just catch feelings.
Yeah.
Man the fuck up. Also a good book, Bedros Killian.
Awesome. Paulo, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Hugo. This was so much fun. Let's do it again next week.
We will.